It's the Bitcoin Podcast. The only one that's making your money is you. Listen to the Bitcoin Podcast. So hold on and listen to the Bitcoin Podcast.
Why
Hey.
are we PlayStation buttons?
No.
Like the scene is me like looking like a crack out, like, scratch my nose and stuff.
Me and Corey are going for 80s buddy cop mustaches this November.
I went as Hopper for Halloween, and everyone at the party was like, "This is a good look for you." It's like, really? Like,
Yeah.
80s cop? Okay, you're the one. Y'all folks looking at me. So this is what you get, guys. You just enjoy the mustache. I'm gonna start doing the backwards hair too, where it's like all kind of like straight.
We need some
fuck back.
We need some awkward angle close-ups and you come into epiphanies about a case that you're working on. And then you'll be an 80s buddy cop like.
Oh, I need the Ray-Bans. I'll get the Ray-Bans from upstairs.
And close-ups on you getting in, not you getting in your car, but your car turning on the tailpipe. The upward angle tailpipe scene where the car turns
Oh
on,
yes,
you see the
100%.
tailpipe rattle
And a
you're
little
like, "Oh, shit."
little bit of perspiration from your AC.
Yeah, they're about to take off in a DeLorean. That's 80s buddy cop angles right there. Corey,
What are we
we got
talking
some
about?
good news.
Oh yeah,
We got 3 5-star reviews.
really? Are they us?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
Is it us three? I didn't
These
know
people,
the review
they
in a
like
long
us.
time.
They like us still. So
What
by
do
the way,
they say? Can we like? Do you have them on hand?
I don't have.
We should read them out loud.
Maybe Alicia hasn't.
Alicia, work on
but-
that.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the Bitcoin Podcast. This is episode 373.
I don't know.
I'm the host that talks first. D.
I am the host to talk second.
Oh, that.
Corey.
And I'm the third host, Jesse.
All right. See, I like your background. You got the State of Us podcast background going on right now.
Yep.
I'm going
Oh.
for Windows 7. This is XP or set? No, this is Windows XP. Sorry.
I'm Grayskull. Damn you, He-Man.
Damn you. What are we talking about today?
Well, we got to talk about the Squid Game stuff. I think this is why Alicia put it up. Is that there was
I don't know anything about this.
It's another crypto dumb shit. Squid Game token went up like 20,000%, something stupid and irrational, and got rug pulled.
Oh, that. So
yeah.
someone made a token called Squid to
Yeah.
just take advantage of the hype of the show, and when it pumped, the person was like, and it's gone.
Yep.
So basically, like, I think so. A lot of people have been posting about this on Twitter. There, as far as I haven't looked anything into it, but I just know that it seems like from what I've read on people posting things on Twitter is someone just made a token and called it that, and there's no connection whatsoever. And then people thought there was, they bought it, and then it got rug pulled basically.
Yeah. So,
And they dropped the bottom out of it. So like I think Eamon Goon Sarir posted something on Twitter, and I was like, well, I mean, to be fair, only one person wins.
tis
So it's pretty
tis-
it's pretty on brand.
tis is crypto. You know, you something's popular in the news, not news, but in the news. You make a token off of it real
Who's
quick.
buying this stuff?
Meme it up. I don't know, 12-year-olds, 13.
Like
Is it
it's
even
like don't
possible?
quit. It's the same. It's the same word. It has to be the same thing. It has to be. Not even looking into it. Just like
Yeah.
like, is there a website for it that's like acts like pretends to be a part of it?
It's easy to get got in crypto though. Like even though
Is
if
it
you've been in
though?
a while.
That
Like,
seems like it would be a hard
last
one to
night
get
I
into,
was-
though.
This morning I was up a little late just because. No, not just because I was playing Battlefront 2, getting my Jedi powers on. But anyways,
Is it a new one? That the new
no,
one?
no, it's the same old one that nobody likes. But I like this one game type where it's like 4 heroes versus 4 villains, and you use your powers on each other and you run around in Star Wars. It's kind of cool. But anyways, I'm on the Avalanche's like tools website, like looking at statistics and stuff, because Avalanche is my new bottom bitch. All
Yeah.
right, I moved on
It's your
past Bitcoin.
It's your new bay.
Me and Bitcoin had our Bay moment. Me and Ether had our Bay moment. Now I'm on Avalanche. I
I'm
love
just
it.
polyamorous. Is that the right word? Or
yeah. I'm polychainerous. Polychainerous. And anyways, I'm looking at some stats, and then I look at this validator stat, and I see like the largest validator is Amazon Inc. And I like for like a half a second, I was like, no fucking way. And then and then I got my shit together, and obviously it's not Amazon. And then like there's like the fifth largest one is Google LLC, and I'm like, how are they getting away with this? But it's crypto. There's no rules sometimes.
Also, that's probably like cloud services.
Yeah, so there's that too.
People running in the cloud, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud.
There's a whole lot of people validating on Avalanche, by the way.
Yeah, that's what's kind of its thing, right? That's its claim to fame, is that its validator pool of full validators is massive. I think it's like let me check the stats here. I have it's like 1.8 thousand, I think is what it's at. There's a discrepancy there between nodes and validators. So validators are the ones participating and actually has stake.
Mm-hmm.
But if I look at my node software here, I would show you, but it's probably got some sensitive information, so I'm not going to. Whoops.
If you put on a pair of glasses, you go from police chief to police officer real quick.
Error while signing in user. Okay, well, that's not good.
With that look you got.
I'll do that later. Oh, yeah. Like, you should see the pictures. I put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
The costume.
Kevin in the Slack has
He took that picture. It has
his profile picture.
Oh, so I think that's something we may end up doing now that Erin's like quit her job. She actually may just set up stupid pictures of me and we turn them into NFTs, because why not?
I like that. Dude, just have fun with it. Why not? That's why I like what's going on in the world right now sometimes. Anyways. Jesse, who's your Bay chain right now? Is it Algo?
Bay chain? Is that a
no,
term
I think I have one right now.
Use?
You don't have a Bay chain right now?
I don't think I do. No, not right now.
Yeah. It's weird.
Can we use Bay chain? Is that a thing we can do?
Yeah, it sucks, but I know this is called a Bitcoin podcast, but I regret to inform you that I listen to this for all purposes of Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin made it, right? Like it's there. There's nothing new. Great. There's the Lightning Network, which is kind of cool, but also kind of awkward if you think about it. Like if you go
anything new in Bitcoin is people doing different things with it, not anything it's doing that's new. Yeah. It's like larger and larger entities are incorporating it into what they try to do, or they say they are, like Puerto Rico, right? Or not Puerto Rico, where is it?
Salvador.
El Salvador is like, hey, will you take Bitcoin now? And we built a miner that runs off of thermal energy from a volcano. Yeah. Like that's the news you get.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Society using it more versus it doing anything different.
It's cool, it's cute. It's kind of cool news. It's not like, oh, like that's blowing my socks off. It's just, oh, that's neat. Like I saw an article just the other day. I think it was in Michigan. A firefighter's pension has added Bitcoin and that new ETF, which is weird because it's a futures ETF anyways, and GBTC to its portfolio, which is some of the stuff we've talked about for years. Like all these huge entities are going to start exposing themselves to crypto, and then there's going to be a waterfall of volume. And then now that I'm in that reality that we're in, I'm just like, like it's not like it's a weird feeling to just be like, all the stuff is happening. Yeah, all right.
Okay, we did it. What's next?
So, Matt Damon on crypto.com. That one.
Yeah, that's a weird one, right? Like,
yeah.
What did they pay for him?
I don't know, but it's just such a weird. That's such a weird commercial. We're the right.
It's the commercial.
Bro. We're fucking pioneers in this bitch. We're the Wright brothers. I love being in that category, by the way. That's basically what the commercial's saying. Commercial is saying if you buy crypto, you are a pioneering human being, and you are just like the Wright brothers. Which, by the way, those guys were kind of assholes, but we're not going to go into the history of the Wright brothers. We're just going to talk about the fact that we're on the same level as the people that invented the airplane.
No, I'm better than them.
Jesse doesn't have a Bay chain. Corey, do you have a Bay chain? It's got to be Ether, right? Right now,
I mean, no, I don't have I'm not married to anybody. Like, I'm married to status, and status is pretty much agnostic. We will always provide everything that we do lives on Ethereum as it stands today. But our goal is to be a portal into Web3, and that's going to inevitably be a multi-chain. So layer 2s, side chains, different networks, etc. So like our goal overall is to like allow people to get access to all these things. So like it's just Ethereum was the first and the best to do the types of things that we do. But as this stuff expands, we're going to expand with it.
Okay. So I'm the only one with a Bay chain. That's okay. I'll have a Bay chain. I'll wear that.
I mean, I like Avalanche because I know a shitload about it. It's novel enough to be interesting, and I think it has the scale that's needed to like grow into a real future later on down the line. And iterate along the way. Like here's the thing about a lot of the blockchain stuff, right? Mm-hmm. You make it a system that operates in a certain way, and more often than not, based on the decisions you make in the very beginning, at least with the chains we have today and the consensus models, you're stuck there. It's very difficult to change the way the system operates in any meaningful way and grow as the technology grows. So like the way the data structure works and how that's married to the underlying consensus model are very, very, very much intertwined for most systems. And so if you change one of those, it makes it very, very, very difficult. You know, and an example of this is the migration from Ethereum 1 to Ethereum 2 and how convoluted and difficult that has been and will continue to be for the next year or so, probably. I don't know.
What do you guys think about Solano?
I think Solana is an interesting project. Actually, so I talked with Rick Dudley today on hashing it out.
Real name?
That's his real name. He's a cool dude. Watch the episode. Outstanding episode. But we talked about like Solana is an interesting project. They've got a bunch of IT people basically to make a blockchain, but it's not decentralized. And it's they basically, if you want to run Solana, you need to be an IT person. It's a centralized product that is more decentralized than in like a traditional corporate, but it's not like the same ideals of what you would imagine when people like claim decentralization. Also, I don't think it can scale, but it's interesting. They're supposed to throw hardware at it, but eventually that's not going to work out.
I was talking with Joe in the Slack about Solana because obviously, you know, anytime a token is blowing up, it pops up in the Slack. It's like, hey, I'm the guy that has the Solana bag. I just wanted to talk about Solana. Yeah, and so Joe was talking about Solana. He's like, it's very interesting. There's like predetermined lanes of communication. I get this is me just being a layman about it, and that's what allows the transactions to flow so quickly. Is because like your transaction has like a predetermined slot that it goes into, and whether you're using that channel to communicate or not, it's still open and available. Just obviously, I'm not describing that right, so
obviously,
you know, don't rake me over the coals because I don't give a shit about Solana. But then I was like, so is there a decentralized exchange? And he was like, yes. And I was like, oh, okay. So how does that work? And he's like, well, there's not a bunch of liquidity pools. There's only one big giant liquidity pool, and then you can trade decentralized. And so I was like, isn't that centralized though?
Oh, it's not decentralized. I don't think it's that decentralized. I mean, like, they work off like if you're interested in a more in-depth view of something like Solana, then go listen to the Hashing It Out episode that we literally just aired today. Well, so I guess whenever this airs, this is streaming. So today,
and Alicia, you could slap that Hashing It Out onto this feed too. You can slap them on whenever you want. Actually,
throw the link. Oh yeah, we're gonna put Hashing Out back in the feed. So
but I did want to read, or Jesse, I would like for you to read the reviews that Alicia posted in the private chat. They're over there.
Why are you making Jesse do it? He's not even included in the reviews.
Because man, like people like to hear Jesse talk, and I'm trying to get him more in. I'm trying to get him more involved.
Okay, great show, Corey and Dimitrik, hosts of the podcast, highlight all aspects of crypto and more in this can't miss podcast. The hosts and expert guests offer insightful advice and information that is helpful to anyone that listens. Mel Foxley from the United States.
Sounds paid for.
That sounds paid.
Do you think that like these people actually listen to the show?
I don't think these people do.
Why he missed you? So no.
Because like,
Yeah. You're a host that you don't listen. He didn't even put you on there.
So like, let me read the next one. Amazing
for the 5
content. Like they
stars.
always preface
I
it
don't
with
think
like
listen.
a compliment with an exclamation
It
mark.
just feels like a template, doesn't it?
It does. So Corey and Dimitri do such a good job covering a variety of topics. The guests offer valuable insights as well.
It's the horoscope.
I would recommend this podcast to anyone looking to be inspired and informed.
There's
Megan at
nothing differentiating about that review. There's not a single thing in that other than Corey and Dimitri, which just says they're not listening. That is like you can say that about every single podcast, and just as long as you have the host names.
Yeah. And
then Megan at podcasting you .what from the United States.
Yeah, I think that
that's a who paid for that?
Like inspired.
That's not me, bro. I'm not telling people to put 5-star reviews on our shit. So somebody randomly
who put that there?
5-star reviews.
That is not a listener. That's not a listener. If it is,
hold on.
I hope they reach out.
Podcasting you is the cereal thing that reached out to us. Isn't that them?
Cereal thing.
Oh,
that might be them.
Magic Spoon wants
Magic
to sponsor
Spoon.
us.
Right, but not them. It's not Magic Spoon. It's this group called, I think it's Podcasting You, that they have in their
podcasts.
Exactly. Well,
yeah,
it's a service for connecting podcasts with sponsors.
Fuck them. They're stupid.
Yeah, that might be why.
Do we want a Magic Spoon sponsor? I don't think I want.
I do. You don't want that?
What is Magic Spoon?
I just don't want to do any more.
It's a protein cereal.
I see affiliate stuff everywhere.
I'll eat some. If they give us some, I'll eat it.
Every single podcast
I'll talk about eating it.
Here's me thinking I'm special with my Manscaped. And then I go to 30 podcasts in a row and they're like, hey, by the way, guys, I just want to let you know.
They reached out to Hashing It Out. I just got an email today trying to do the same thing. So, like, you want 14 more Manscapes? We'll get them.
Yeah, let's do it again. Do it to Hashing Out again. So we just have a wall of lawnmowers. Anyway, so
there's one more. What is this? What is this like next one? This doesn't. I don't see any.
That's an advertisement.
Those two that Jessie put are 5 stars. So we got 5 stars.
Oh, the last one. Here, I'll read it. Bitcoin is popular among users, but there are constraints that make it
read this garbage. This is a advertisement. We're not reading advertisements.
The guy from Russia, Omer X, were from Russia.
This dude didn't pay us. We're not reading that.
Let's get on to some actual crypto stuff. So we had an interesting development in the Slack yesterday, which led to a very interesting and intriguing question. And the question was, what is the fucking question? Does the impetus of a project need to be more than superficial? I think that's what the question was.
It's a reasonable summary of.
Unless the meaning is it being superficial, right? I think it
depends on the branding along with it.
Yeah, if you're trying to fake that you're trying to do something more than just pump a coin, and that would be superficial, right? But if you're saying this is a coin, I'm going to pump it, then that's being honest, and that's not superficial.
Yeah, so it's like if you're just trying to make money and you're honest about I don't give a fuck, I'm trying to stack that paper, then it's okay. But if you're
it's transparent.
It's better. I mean, this isn't binary, right? It's not this is bad, this is good. There's a scale.
Yeah.
Doing that, being honest with your motivations, put you way further on the scale of okay. But like there's nothing novel about it. It's just you're being clear that you're taking advantage of a hype cycle.
So
and that's it.
I get that.
And that's transparency and honesty. And that goes a long way in this industry, period. It's when you do something that's like cloning and then pretending to do a bunch of other stuff and being helpful and innovative, and your intention is to rug pull, then like go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So this all started because I was like, man, if it's right now there's some primordial ooze sitting over there in the subnets of Avalanche. You can clone a project, make it on Avalanche. You can clone a network, make it a subnet on Avalanche, right? It's just something that you can do, and there's no rules that's saying that you can't.
We can go into that conversation, right? because I think there is novelty associated with taking a network and porting it to Avalanche and using Avalanche consensus to continue the creation of that blockchain on what I would consider a better consensus protocol as a subnet. That requires quite a bit of coordination with the community of the network that already exists. And so if you were to try and clone it, I think they call it spooning, which is a dumb term because it's different than fork. What you're doing is you're taking the current state of that entire blockchain. So like all the accounts and all of their balances and the entire history of that thing. And you're saying you're no longer going to use proof of work to add transactions to this blockchain. You're going to switch to using Avalanche consensus to add transactions, and we're going to pay the validators on Avalanche to do that instead of the miners. If we say we do Bitcoin Cash, right? This is Bitcoin Cash there's rumors of like it actually porting things over. It has an overlay network of Avalanche that does zero conf transactions, stuff like that. So like they're at least like playing around with this. And so convincing the community to do this and when to do it is very important, because if you clone it and start it and the people who are on the proof of work chain don't like it, then you have two different networks. You've basically done a fork.
Yeah.
And
spork.
Spork may be a better term for this. Yeah. But because like people just say like, all right, you can come here now. Everything that you had, you also have here. And then you need to convince people to move or do both. And so you're intrinsically creating a rift in that community. And then that takes flack. And even if it's better technology, you're breaking up a community in a real way. And that can cause a lot of problems. Because like at the end of the day, all of this stuff is based on community. And so I think any type of project that would like to do something like that, which could potentially make it operate way better, because consensus, like Avalanche consensus, is faster than the majority of things that are out there and can scale better, then you need to that's a community proposal, right? These are decentralized networks. You need to make sure that when that switch happens, either like at least everyone understands that it's happening and when it happens, so they have time to make a decision, vote on it, and so on and so forth. If you do it and you say, "Hey, I did this, go fuck yourself," that's a shitty move.
So if you're in the first group and you do want to do something like this, hit me up. You can join the Slack, and I'll take all the smoke. I'll be your smoke taking guy, right? People are like, "Hey, what's this?
I got a bit of a plan for this. I think I'm gonna. I told you I don't want to announce it too much, but there's some people I don't mind taking flack from that could be pretty fun. So
everything about this face says I can take smoke like a champ, and
does
we're
it
gonna keep on rolling.
Does it?
Yeah,
I don't think it does. I'd be interested to see if like we got some real smoke.
Jessie, I was just showing Jessie. Corey, you want to see my I'm sorry face?
I've seen you blow up in anger.
Yeah,
awesome dumb shit.
Because we're close friends. We've almost been in bar fights together. So there's no, it wasn't a bar fight. But do you remember when our drunk neighbor came?
I remember very clearly.
I was gonna knock that fucker out. I was just like not drunk enough. But anyways, where is it? Anyways,
you can take smoke.
I can take smoke. Look, this is my I'm sorry face. If we ever, so whoever's listening wants to do a project needs somebody take smoke. Like here it is. Hello, dear community. We do apologize. There was a bug, and we have identified $7.5 million per user that was drained from your accounts. We are going to roll back the subnet. We are going to take the money from the robber. You can go to hell. Right? That's a good smoke face.
That's not smoke.
No, that is smoke. That's taking smoke.
I'm talking about like I don't think
throw some smoke at me. Throw some smoke at me.
You're a black piece of shit.
That's really vulgar. I don't think
Can you handle that? Can you handle that? Because that's what you're gonna get from the internet. Like,
Really? Is that the
Yeah,
direction we're going?
there's probably shitty comments on this YouTube right now. Like, yeah, dude.
Shit. Oh, I could take that smoke too. I'll be like, no, I'm not. I'm not a black people shit. Please, piece of shit.
Hope
I'm
that
a
gets
regular-
recorded and sound bit
I'm
into an
a
NFT.
regular- that needs to be clipped out.
I'm not
Throw
living
some
that down,
smoke at
by
me.
the way.
Throw some smoke at you fucking black piece of shit. Okay, all right. I didn't see that coming, but
You don't. That the internet is gross, and I don't think you're ready for that grossness.
Dude, come on. I played Halo 2 in the early 2000s, bro. I'm ready for everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway,
Let's get back to talking crypto. So anyways. So there's projects that are clear superficial, like Shiba Inu. Shout out. Doge.
that's a quality example of a superficial project.
But they're superficial for the point of being superficial. And if people don't know the history of Doge was created as a joke, right? Doge was created as, so this is the whole history. Bitcoin used to be it. You go to the r/Bitcoin and you can find out everything in the world about crypto. People got butthurt that they didn't invest early enough. And they said, oh, this is a scam. It's tulips. We're going to make something called r/Buttcoin. That's still a thing. You can go to r/Buttcoin on Reddit and see a bunch of people going all the way back to like 2010 that are shitting on Bitcoin because they think that it is a stupid premise. They think the economics don't work. They think it's not deflationary. They think it's tulips. They obviously don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but they're so bought in on being wrong. They're there. And it's a whole community called Buttcoiners. They probably have their own token by now, and it's probably making a lot of money.
Maybe.
Then this guy, what's his name? The guy Palmer, Dogecoin guy. Isn't it Palmer?
I don't know his
Robert?
name.
No,
Robert Palmer?
no. Anyways, so then the Dogecoin community pops up to make fun of the Buttcoin community, and they're doing things like, "Oh, crypto is such wow! This economy is so amazing, such a maze," and they're talking like a dog thinks, which is very funny actually. It is very funny to talk like a dog thinks. And it's like, oh, so such money, such wow. And they just make fun of the Buttcoiners. And it just becomes this thing. And then people start mining Doge because you can, because I think it's script.
They're back. Good son of a face.
And they start mining Doge and it starts to become its own thing. And they start tipping in Doge. And there's a huge community all to make a joke about people making a joke about Bitcoin. It's kind of meta, I guess. That's what the kids say. Fast forward the clock from 2013 to 2021, and all of a sudden now Doge is actually worth money. So there's people sitting on like trillions of Doge probably, and they are very rich, right? Just because it just started as a joke. So that's a coin that's invented for superficial reasons, doing superficial things. There's no development going on. It's not going to grow. It's not going to change. But that's better than starting something for the specific reason of funneling money just into your pocketbooks and nobody else gets to gain. Right. So that was the whole, I guess, debate.
I think it's reasonable to start something for fun. And if it blows out of proportion, then so be it. Because like if you start something for fun and you're clear and your intentions are clear, your motivations are clear, and someone takes it and runs with it, that's out of your hands because that's the way this technology works, right? Mm-hmm. You can't dictate what people can do because you don't have the power to do it. That's kind of the whole thing, right? So you start something as a joke, it's a decentralized technology and someone takes it and runs with it. You're like, I guess someone's doing that. And then you end up, like, if you profit from it, then cool. But like, as long as you're, in my opinion, if your motivations are clear and you're transparent throughout, like Jackson Palmer, Alicia, for telling us, was like throughout this entire time is like, why are people still using this? I haven't touched it in like a decade. But the community that rallied around it and continues to use it decided to keep going, and here we are. So it's like, I don't support anything that's made for the specific purpose of taking advantage of people and like doing value extraction. Like, I'm going to make a token. I'm going to make the distribution incredibly unequal so that I have a tremendous amount. And I'm going to pretend like other people can make a bunch of money by pumping it, getting people to buy it so that they can sell it. And then since I have such an unequal percentage of that distribution, I'm going to make so much money. It's like when people it's like when, I think it might actually be Shiba, like when that token started the distribution and they gave a tremendous amount to Vitalik, and Vitalik was like, well, I earned it all, so fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about, is like these like money games of trying to get people's attention to feign legitimacy that don't actually do anything new.
It's very, so I'll say this. This goes to the first paid review that said we're inspirational. Here's some inspiration for everybody. It's like, have you guys ever heard the phrase, the road to hell is paved with good intentions?
Yes.
Yep.
Right. It's very tantamount to old Christopher Nolan's, you die a hero or live long enough to be the villain. It's like the same vein.
Was that Christopher Nolan?
That was Dark Knight.
I wasn't just earlier than Dark Knight.
It's probably earlier than Dark Knight.
Yeah, but he made it cool, so that's all that matters.
All right, that's fine. All right, whatever.
That's Christopher Nolan. All right, Christian Bale, Dark Knight. No, wait, that wasn't Christian Bale. It was
Christian Bale.
Two-Face guy. It was Two-Face guy. But anyways, like you could start. That's all I'm trying to say is do something. If you're in the space and you have the skill sets and you have the ability, do something, because you never know what's going to happen. Some people do something really small and it ends up being the shit, right? Like some people just do stuff and then all of a sudden people are using it, people love it, and you got yourself something awesome. And then if you're the person who built it, you're in a good position to be like, look, I don't want to deal with all that bullshit. I just want to build this cool thing, right? Like I got a pile of money. I'm going to pay several people big piles of that pile, and I'm just going to keep building and do cool shit. So that's the inspiration you have from this show. Is just build something. Who cares what the impetus is? If it is malicious, you're more often than not. If you are trying to do something which is like, this is gonna make me rich, nobody else, I'm about to siphon off a bunch of money and then skirt and rug pull, it's gonna come back around and get you, right? I
would argue like the goal is to make something that challenges the traditional archetype of I'm here to extract value from other people, like zero-sum game. It's like if you're trying to make something that, like you said earlier, everything's a money grab. It's got to be profitable. A business makes money. I think the content of what is new in crypto is I can make money while enabling and emboldening other people to make money and make their lives better too. It's like I don't have to extract value from someone else in order to become profitable myself. There are non-zero sum games where everyone wins, or not everyone wins, but the majority of people win. Like it doesn't have to be the situation of
I like my project idea because, if you have like a healthcare NFT project and the incentive is becoming healthier, everybody wins because everybody becomes healthier unless you choose not to, win at the game, right?
Yeah.
But the motivation is like you're incentivized to become healthier. And so there's really no losing. Like if you lose, I guess if you lose tokens, you can become less healthy. But I guess the motivation is like you want everybody to become healthier. Mm-hmm. And so everybody probably moves in a positive direction.
What's positive? What does it mean? Like, what does healthy mean?
Not getting a heart attack early.
Yeah, it's got pretty line in the sand standards.
I'm just saying, like, healthy is a
cholesterol's low.
You don't die before the average death age.
That's barring anomalous. That's a good barring anomalous activity. Like,
yeah.
He was not healthy because he got smacked by a bus before the average age of death. Like, we gotta rule that one out. By the way, I don't know. Getting smacked by a bus seems like such a terrible fucking way.
I mean, if I'm gonna go, that's a pretty fast one. I mean,
you better hope it's fast. You don't get clipped and dragged.
You get hit by a bus at like 5 miles an hour. You want to hit by a bus at like 35 miles an hour. That's probably enough. I'll do it.
What about people that get hit by trains? Just a puff of smoke.
That's a way to go. You're done.
How do we get here so quickly? Jesse, that was your project got us here actually. But there's pretty
Wait,
bold
the
lines
train,
in
though.
this.
I didn't go to the train though. That was
We were talking about healthy, and then Corey's like,
Oh,
well,
okay.
if you die before, the average age of death. But the thing
Yeah,
is
you went
like,
to the bus thing. Somebody
Yeah.
getting hit by a bus.
well, because you can't be considered not healthy because you die before.
Yeah,
you're
your
supposed
health.
to.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, your metrics can't include healthy people who die early because they got hit by a bus.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, to answer your question, of course, there's like bold lines in the sand. Cholesterol's low, beats per
What
minute.
kind of cholesterol? There's all kinds
Resting.
of different kind of cholesterol.
The bad kind is
LDL and
low, the good
HDL.
kind's high.
Look at,
You
well,
want-
yeah, that's been challenged quite a bit lately.
Yeah, but those doctors can fuck off. No, I'm playing.
I don't know if it's been challenged. They have different purposes. but
I'll
yeah.
send you some things.
You probably been binging Rogan. You sound like you've been binging Rogan lately. That's some
I've been
shit.
binging all kinds. I don't listen to Joe Rogan anymore. His once he moved to Spotify, it kind of just went meh.
Look at you sounding like a hipster.
I'm
Do
old
you
school.
listen
Joe
to
Rogan.
Lex
His
Friedman?
first album was better
Friedman?
than
It was for a
first
while.
album.
I liked his. Yeah, I enjoy Lex Friedman. I don't have time to listen to him.
So who do you
Lex
listen to
Friedman.
now?
No one.
Wait, I thought you said you were just binging.
I don't
on,
listen.
like-
I don't listen to podcasts. I binge on the shit people put in our Slack and work.
I've been watching a lot.
Well, I'm
of
interested.
shows.
The HDL and LDL stuff that you're saying is,
I'll send you some things that I think are interesting.
yeah, curious.
High deoxylayered and low deoxylayered cholesterol, and then so we
It's just density. It's high density and low density.
sure.
Nice try.
So, anyways, let's get on to another topic. Let's sprinkle in some news here. So Brazil's about a smidgen away from pulling out El Salvador, and what's really
Brazil.
interesting is, Brazil.
Brazil.
That's where Blanca is from. If anybody didn't know that, but what was I gonna say? So I read a Reddit post which could be fake. Obviously, it's Reddit, and you can do whatever you want on the fake internet. But it was a person from El Salvador, El Salvadorian. Aaron Eckhart, by the way, Two-Face, Aaron Eckhart, The Dark Knight. Thank you, Alicia. But anyways, so what is it? Yeah, he's saying, hey, I actually am one of those El Salvadorians that bought in. And I know a lot of people like myself that are buying in. And given the price is $64,000, and the most you can take out of an ATM, and you can withdraw from an entity that allows you to store your Bitcoin custodial with them in a given time is $1,000, which I was like, that's kind of authoritarian, but whatever. Is $1,000. Nobody's going to make 64 different trips to the bank to withdraw their money. We're all more likely to hold and spend smartly. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting take on what's happening there. I'm pretty sure he's outnumbered. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, holy shit, I'm selling this shit every time it goes up, and I'm going to use whatever money that they get out of the ATM. Probably not wise if you're talking to.
Depends on where you can spend it, right? Like, why would you take it out?
ATM
he's like-
transaction fees are insane too.
I don't know how they are there. They may not be as predatory there.
Oh, okay.
I hope they're not, because like I saw someone posted an ATM in one of different Slack that I'm in,
Mhm.
and the price was over $1,000 more because of the
here.
price, like because they're able to do that, right?
In the US?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's some bullshit.
So ATM, like Bitcoin ATMs in the US are
Alicia said they need to leave El Salvador.
so like
They are predatory.
what's the point? Because like apparently in El Salvador you can just use Bitcoin to pay for things, and that's kind of the whole goal, right? It's like you're no longer a fiat maximalist. It's trying to maximize the amount of fiat you have. You're a crypto maximalist, where you're trying to stack the crypto, and you think about its purchasing power in the price of crypto, as opposed to like I bought like so like realize like, you know, if you're a fiat maximalist, you're thinking about realized gains. Where like I bought this at 50,000, it went to 64,000. I've made $14,000 off this if I sell it today. And so you're thinking about it in terms of US dollars, which means you're not in it to like hold, and or you're in it to hold to a point where you can sell it for something else and use that thing. Whereas I'd say most of like the real OG maximalists are like, I'm not going to sell because I'm just going to use it. I don't want to go back to the old thing. Now, the old thing gives me a reasonable litmus test for purchasing power. Like, I know what the cost of toothpaste is in the old thing. And I know the price of Bitcoin with fiat, so I can then reason what the price of toothpaste is about in Bitcoin. And so because of that, like most of the people when they do any type of like portfolio management or whatever, they reference a fiat and they try and grow that number. But that's just fiat maximalism.
Are you against that?
No. It's a reasonable thing to do because today that's what you have to use to do a bunch of stuff.
Are you saying that that's what the people in El Salvador are probably doing?
Probably, because it's like that. I was talking about this earlier with Rick today. Like that context switch is very difficult, especially when you're not thinking about it in like, sats or, you know what I mean, like millisats. So like when those numbers are not reasonable numbers, like nanosat, satoshis instead of Bitcoin, like 0.00003 Bitcoin it costs to get on the train. Like, I don't understand those numbers.
Yeah.
And so when you think of like, that's why fiat's always nice, is because it's in, ones, tens, 20s, 100. Those are things that you can rationalize.
Well, that's what we were taught.
Yeah, but that context switch is really, really difficult. And the US dollar is as powerful it is because that's usually the basis that everyone pegs value to. So when they think in terms of buying power, it's relative to the US dollar.
Don't you think that has something to do with like education and affluence, though? The ability to like disconnect from fiat?
Yeah. I don't know how do you make that transition? That's a really hard thing to do. You need to be
affluent enough and be educated enough.
Yeah.
We need to get Tom on the show, and I need to talk to him about his most prophetic thing he's ever said to me, which he says a lot of prophetic things, but he's also a
a lot of dumb shit too. So
serial person. Is that the word? Prophetic person? I don't know.
Sure.
Prophetic. What he said is, and what's the thing that bugged me about Tom is because he's one of the smartest people I know, but he like throws middle fingers up at crypto. He like gives no fuck.
No, he doesn't. We've had long conversations and he gets it. He doesn't like what most people say about crypto.
I'd like to have him on the show. I'm gonna give him a call. But he said, at the end of the day, what's gonna happen is this: Bitcoin is gonna be poor country money, and then something else built using the technology is gonna be rich country money, because there always has to be the haves and the have-nots. And I was like, damn, that's deep. And that's exactly what's happening, Jessie. You were like, when we first announced that El Salvador was using it as legal tender, you were like, what's their GDP? Like, isn't it like
20-something billion?
It's like Oklahoma's GDP. Like, it's not big. Yeah. Right. And then now Brazil, their GDP is not big. Like these are
GDP is pretty big in Brazil.
It is.
Yeah.
GDP is huge, dude. What? GDP is just for
Brazil's a mighty big
geographically
sake. They got a lot of wood going on in Brazil. That's their biggest export, I think.
Jesse looks like he's
Brazil is beef. Brazil is meat.
No, Brazil consumes beef. Argentina creates it.
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
1.4 trillion.
Sugarcane.
Brazil is 1.4 trillion GDP.
Coffee, sugarcane.
That's legitimate. That's pretty good.
Beer, actually. So InBev is a corporation of Brazil.
He collects.
So is Heinz, for that matter.
So Brazil mainly exports soybeans, 11.6%, petroleum oils, 10.7%, iron ores, 10.1%, maize, 3.2%, and chemical wood pulp, 3.1%.
Okay.
Not sugar.
Take that
it's
back.
Mainly beans.
Brazil would be a little
petroleum and ore.
Brazil would be a little bit of a bigger deal than El Salvador.
Be a way bigger deal.
And their cartels are organized as fuck, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, so Brazil is like a wonderful candidate to become a world power, but they're so corrupt that it's not going to happen. That's the narrative that I got and understood while I lived there is like they're just on the precipice of becoming like a reasonable world power, but the corrupt politicians are like just screw it up every time.
I don't think they are. They don't. They're failing the
Some of the largest companies are operate out of Brazil. Like I said, InBev is a Brazilian company.
How many battle cruisers do they have, my friend?
Well, that's a very different story.
That's how you become a good old world power there. Other countries.
No, look at Japan.
Listening. Yeah, but our battle.
Japan has no standing military.
Yeah, they're not
Get told.
a world.
They
son.
are a world power.
I mean, cool.
When you talk about Axis versus allies, who's included in those?
Here's one thing I will say. Japan. Look, and I hope this isn't racist. It might be racist. Japan, what the fuck is going on with these PlayStations, man? Like, I know a lot of people that are trying to get one. They can't get one. This is the second Christmas in a row. I'm going to see sad nephews and sad cousins because they're asking for PlayStation 5. I have the means to get them a PlayStation 5, and I can't get one for them. So what the fuck, Japan?
That's a global shortage.
World power. I'm a world power. Get some fucking PlayStations, mate.
All right, go buy a graphics card. It's a global shortage, dude. It's supply shit spots.
I've been keeping my eye on the cameras too, and I can't get a good camera.
Get anything. There's nothing you can get.
What's going on, Sony? Make your products.
Yeah.
Like, you should have seen.
We should make a crypto called Silicon, and then pump that.
What does it do?
Nothing.
I thought it was like relevant to like
people will think they can get that and solve the silicon crisis.
What if we said it was digital silicone? Oh my god, it will fucking fly off the racks. You know it would, because people are stupid. People are buying the digital gold, digital silver, digital oil analogies, which are so loosely right. They're just right enough for people to be like, you know what? I'm gonna go put half my life savings.
I'm into this.
I'm into it.
Life
They're gonna
savings.
create like the
Let's do
Enron of like Web3.
I mean, so like I was at, I think I was driving through, I want to say it was Alabama. I don't know. It was a southern country, and it was sketchy.
I like how you said country. Because
Southern country,
they are
southern state.
down there.
So the southern state, and it was sketchy as fuck. And I went into this gas station to go to the bathroom while I was filling up. We were driving across the country to go somewhere, and this motherfucker must have bought $300 worth of lottery tickets.
So you can say bullets
in chunks. It's a gas station. In chunks.
I don't know.
Of
it's Alabama.
In chunks of $40. And every single time he did it, he said, "This is my last one." And this motherfucker did not look like he had $300 worth of money to spend. So, like, when you take that mentality and call it investing, people are going to do some irrational shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you see. Like, that's crypto in a nutshell.
You know they call the lottery, right? The poor man's retirement plan.
Well, I call it lottery.
That's what it's called, the poor man's retirement
So what
plan.
is crypto?
Although I am
Rich man's retirement plan?
Don't you see the white glowing pure light from my aura? Get the fuck out of here, poor man.
What are you talking about?
He said, "What is crypto then?"
That's what I'm asking. It's for everybody, right?
Crypto is for the people. It's for the streets.
It's okay.
Like, I don't know. Crypto is definitely there are investment strategies to crypto. Dollar cost average works really well. I'm a personal believer and testimony case for dollar cost averaging to success. It works. It does. In fact, if there's a risky asset you think is going to go up in the future and it has fundamentals and it's not something fake pink sheet bullshit, dollar cost average it. And if it does moon up, congratulations. Got yourself a Lexus. Boom. But I don't think crypto is poor man's retirement plan. I think crypto is the Gen Z's retirement plan right now. Because every single centralized exchange has Shiba versus Doge advertising going on right now, because 20-year-olds with a lot of money, Like the 21, 22-year-olds that got out of college quick and got a good job and they, kind of hit the lottery in that aspect of life have money to blow. Like if I were making the money I'm making now in my early 20s, do you know what kind of shit I would be buying? Like it would be irrational. I'd be like, what's that? Dog digital tokens? Yeah, give me 15,000 million of them. How much do they cost? A couple 10,000ths of a penny? Yeah, give me enough that I can buy a boat.
Give me enough.
Just I'll buy them every week. I don't care. I'm 22 years old. I'm already buying $8 worth of Starbucks every morning. Every morning I go get my peppermint mocha.
Really? Do you?
No, I'm saying that's what a 22-year-old.
Oh, I was like, do you do that? Like that's not like a transition. Like you do that.
I'm a reasonable man. I grind my coffee up and I make it, and it's probably a little less expensive as $8 a day. but
That's super less.
I'm just saying, Jesse, like this crypto, and this is also, where's my Negro Damas sticker? Throw it on up there, Alicia. Where's it at? Let's get it going. This backward shit blows me. Is it up there?
You pretend it is and then go for it.
Oh, she wasn't. Negro Damas. It's coming. It's coming. We swear it's coming. It's got to be there.
There it is.
There we go. Crypto is not, if you're like 35 and older, maybe even 30 and older, it's in your lifetime, it's not going to reach these astronomical purchasing power values that everybody screams about on Twitter. You got to be pretty savvy, invest in the right stuff, get into the right token projects, get kind of lucky to reach that kind of purchasing power. But just holding it as something to have, the people that are like 20 years old and younger right now, 22 and younger, this is going to be something that is going to be a viable and a large part of their retirement portfolio, in my opinion. They're going to have it
a lot better.
They're going to have it. They're going to
historically, it's performed a lot better.
Yeah, and they're going to sit on it, and it's over time. It's going to garnish less and less returns, Jess. But then it's going to just settle on on.
You're the one who got off Ethereum like late. I was telling you go on to like other L1 chains.
What do you mean?
Yeah, before, remember how?
Yeah, but I mean, Ethereum's doing pretty good.
The reason why Ethereum is so expensive is because it's filled up.
Yeah,
like it's being used at capacity. That's why it's so expensive. So like, shut up. Like, there's not that big of it's doing its job and it's trying to scale. Until then, other places pick up some of that. Pick up some of that stuff.
There's nothing people need to shut up about.
Like the narrative is like Bitcoin or Ethereum sucks. It's like it sucks because it's at capacity, and so it's elbowing out some of the use cases because they're no longer economically feasible to do on that chain. Right now, it's mostly big money moves. If you're going to use the L1 of Ethereum, and if you don't have big money to move, you need to do something else until. If it moves, like if it's able to scale, then those things may come back, or they won't, and it just stays a big money chain, right? In the event that that's the case, you use layer 2s, you use alternate layer 1s, you use sidechains. There's other things you can do that do the same thing. In the event that you need to use something else that is economically infeasible on Ethereum, but calling Ethereum bad because it's filled up is just stupid.
Yeah.
No. We're talking about from a price standpoint.
Yeah, he's talking about
the biggest increases in terms of what to move your money to.
That's the way it works,
not
right?
Bitcoin
Because
and Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
No, because like percentage movement, it's drastically different. So like a $100 movement in Ethereum is not that big of a deal compared to a $100 movement in like Matic
or Avalanche,
right?
Solano.
Like. Yeah. Or like any other layer 2s, right? Because the percentage differences between what it's at now and what it is plus $100 is drastically different.
Yeah.
And so like if you're looking for larger gains, you need to be investing into things that are relatively new where their bucket's not filled up yet. And it's unclear whether or not they're going to be able to fill up their buckets.
It would be
that's what I'm saying.
The smarties listening to us to look into how to implement using the Sharpe ratio on your portfolios,
What's the
right?
Sharpe ratio? Can you
Maybe that's a
explain that?
project that I can do. So the Sharpe ratio is a beautiful ratio in the finance world that measures your risk in accordance to the price of an asset. The only two things you need to know are how much of that asset you're buying and when you plan to exit. And that's a very important thing because a lot of people that invest in things don't have an exit strategy. So they just sit around and look at numbers go up, right? But so here's a little bitty side rail. If you're struggling with making an exit strategy, look at something tangible and real you can change in your life and let that be part of your strategy, right? For myself, most recently was buying a home, right? So I used a little bit, got a little bit off the top of my gains, did a little HODL plus,
a little HODL plus action.
buy a little nice little house going on here soon, right? So that's how you learn your exit strategies. But the Sharpe ratio, you have a time frame you want to exit in, and you have all this list of assets and how much they're worth now. And then the little bit of voodoo you have to do, right, is saying, what do I think these prices are going to be when I exit, right?
What do they need to be for me to exit?
That's a good way to assess that as well. You
Like,
can
you can project what things need to be at in order for you to exit, which then gives you the price to sell.
Absolutely. But the Sharpe ratio isn't so much about giving you a price to sell. It's showing your risk. It's a risk assessment tool, right? And the rule of thumb to know is that the lower a thing costs, the less risk it is, because it's not very much room for something to go from 1 penny to 0 pennies. 1 penny to 0 pennies. But it's a lot of room for something to go from $64,000 to $0, right? So the risk is higher. Right?
That depends on the unit that you're buying, and also
that doesn't
on how
seem
much
right.
money you have.
That seems very wrong.
That was a very general
true
thing, though. That's just a very general thing. Like the risk it depends on how. Obviously, it depends on if you put a bunch of money in the low expensive stuff and a little bit of money in the $64,000 Bitcoin, then obviously all your risk is sitting over.
You're assuming that you're buying one Bitcoin at 64,000 versus one, unit of something worth like a penny.
That's why
I'm saying the risk
matter. That's
so we're talking about, so when you abstract that to a external reference, like I'm buying $10,000 in both of these assets, right? If I buy $10,000 of Bitcoin and $10,000 of shitcoin,
Spitcoin, we changed that.
Spitcoin, then the risk is going to be much, much, much higher in the shitcoin because of the associated volatility and the lack of liquidity, right?
Yep.
So like
you're saying the risk is lower in the shitcoin, but it's not. It's higher in the shitcoin, D.
Maybe I have it backwards. Let me take a look.
Because you have to think about the amount of money it takes to move a specific coin, like its available liquidity and its price, and then like money movement. It then gets further complicated by like token supply. So like if a given token has a tremendous supply, that's going to mean that per token is going to be worth less at the same market cap price.
So when you were describing the Sharpe ratio, it's just when you went on and then you started talking about risk in general, then it started getting wonky.
So then I'll just go back to what I was saying. That was right. So just let's go back to the Sharpe ratio. So Sharpe ratio actually equals the average strategy return minus the average risk-free rate, that difference divided by the strategy's standard deviation. So there's
what's the risk-free rate?
There's a lot of literature on this. It's something studied pretty heavily in finance school.
We did some interesting. So if you're interested in like,
I bet you this is a product in and of itself.
It is. We did a couple blog posts on token economics and trying to ping them to traditional finance metrics like net profit value and stuff like that in status. If you look up, go to r.status.im and then search token economics, you'll see some of the things that we came up with to talk about how to think about these traditional AUR.
Oh,
It's our blog. There's some.
You guys have some good posts.
We can actually walk through this in the show. You can see some of the levers we used.
Oh.
Let's move it over to. I think we're on. We can add to the stream. So we'll do like one of these bad.
You
boys.
adding it?
Yeah, Blad out.
Oh my god, we just sent you guys into the fourth dimension.
You got to move over to the tab, bro,
Why is my shit on there?
because you're the one
Oh.
looking at it.
No, sorry, I don't want that one on there. I was like,
What a
Why don't you
boomer.
share your screen? Do you live in 2021?
no, I was not. I didn't know my screen was down there still.
Oh, okay. You looked it up.
I know, but I looked it up on a different tab.
Yeah, so on the top right, you
was
can
like-
search for token economics.
Let me see here. Search. This needs to be more. Who's your UX? This needs to
Market
be
or
bigger.
is it market?
It needs to be more bigger. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have found
Economics
that.
research. Use ENS usernames.
Okay.
That's the first one we did.
I'm gonna read a little bit of this in the voice of my cocaine.
So I wrote this. This is something I wrote.
Introduction. The status network.
Can
has
you blow it up a
utility-
little bit? It's low for the stream. Get big. Yeah.
There we go. The status network has
Too
a
big.
utility token.
It's fine. Just
The status
No,
network
it's-
has a utility token that's S&T. What does that even mean? Well, utilities that have and how do their uses affect the rest of the ecosystem? Does it impact value? What even is the value of a utility token? Great questions, Corey. Great questions. These questions are hard. Does not seem to be a sufficient academic answers to them. Technology enabling utility token is new and transcendent of many older technologies. This consequently means the models used to evaluate the older technologies will never be able to completely describe the newer ones. Here's a good, okay, I got to pause right here. How much of that? So it's not, it can't completely describe the newer ones, but how much can
It
they
depends.
describe? of
It
the
depends,
newer
right? So like it gives you a perspective. You just need to know it's difficult to find the lengths in
Let's
which
find a
those
constant.
perspectives are constant. So like and that takes time, right? So like it's
You
that
know
is
what I
something
mean?
that's fundamental to a transcendent technology, is that if it is beyond the scope of what a model gives, the model cannot completely describe it. So it may give you intuition, it may help you in a specific direction, but it won't be complete. So when you look at traditional financial models, they can give you intuition, but they can never be complete.
But what? Okay, follow me on this journey. What if you use old models and you come up you find like a constant? You know what I'm saying? Like
you need to make an account on Quantopian, and then just you can run as many models as you want. It's just
Quantopian?
click and play.
If you scroll down, it's like, this is an interactive blog, by the way. You can actually
So, anyways, there's currently quite a bit of work being done in this field, but it's mostly for investment firms to make appropriate capital allocation decisions among diversified portfolio of crypto assets. While this is drastically important for growth and project funding, there's
This is a
lack
long
of
blog. You're not
research.
going to have fun reading it all.
I know. I mean, I like to read. I like to read out loud. I've always liked it.
Reading
So-
rainbow shit.
Yeah.
All right, LeVar Burton.
Hey, man, when you're good at something, you like it. You know what I'm saying? I like reading that a lot. So, at the end of the day, Status does have a blog. This is probably something we should talk about on the state of us.
We'll get there.
Status has a blog, our.status.im. We should probably have like something in here. Shouldn't the state of us be in here? You know what?
We will.
We'll talk about
We'll be.
We'll talk about it. another
I
time.
got you, boo.
But let me get this out of here. So
Wow, you didn't show them the interactive part? That's the best part.
Okay. All right. Where's the interactive? Is this is not in it?
Scroll down.
Picture.
That graphs shit.
Oh, you put a lot of work in. Oh, you put a
MPV?
motherfucking Samata Grande in here. Oh shit. Okay. What's that? Is that T for time?
Where are these
Where's
graphs?
the simulation thing?
Is that T for seconds? Time? What
It
is
says
T for?
it tells you.
I don't want to read, bro. Okay. T is the number of time periods. Okay. Well, how long is the time? You know what? Okay, let's.
Where are these? Where am I? Where am I interactive?
You got a lot of numbers in this article.
Your interactive's not
You're
there
losing
for you.
95%.
What the hell happened to my interactive part? All right, that's getting fixed. I'm mad. All right, so the actual interactivity of that blog post is gone, which is the
Where'd it
coolest.
go?
Yeah, at the very bottom, if you go to the observable HQ, it'll show you the where it's pulling it from. Hold on, that's not.
Ooh,
Go back.
This is data sexy right here.
Oh, this blog is so cool, and now it no longer works. Hold it. Let's see. Try to go to ENS usernames. Go back to that. Click on that. That works. So
This looks like code, so my body just shriveled a little bit.
it's a lot of code. That's why.
There you go.
So like, there's your interactivity buttons of like.
Oh,
But ENS never like.
so
took
by
off.
fucking with these things, you kind of get like.
So you go down, and then those numbers will change. There should be some plots. Okay, never mind. This isn't the right one. You got some
Oh, it's
plots
right
of
there.
like, yeah.
At
So
the
it'll show
bottom?
you. It'll show you compounding things.
Wow.
Net present value based
Holy
on all the
shit.
metrics that you use.
I put a lot of users in there. Let me back that off.
You put a lot of users in there.
There's not even that many people on the planet, barely.
There are, but
What is
why
max,
is it
like
allowed
7?
you to go so far?
Yeah, why are the numbers so large, bro? Oh, okay.
I don't know why the blog. I don't know why the blog doesn't work anymore. I'll fix that. That bothers the hell out of me. Must be some update in our blog technology.
There we go. All right, let's say.
Anyway,
you got
we're getting off.
500,000
No,
users.
we've lost it. Let's just move on to something else.
We've lost it.
Holy shit! It's a lot of present value. Okay, so
Anyway, there's interesting ways to like assess the efficacy of a given feature based on all the different parameters that you have. That blog post has showed you kind of like to walk through how individual parameters affect the underlying value of the feature, and just give people kind of an inclination of like, maybe the adoption strategy isn't get all the users. Maybe it's affect the amount an individual user makes based on their value. You know what I mean? Like by visualizing and understanding how these things depend on each other, you can start to see like how, at least a perspective, like net present value is only a single metric. Maybe that's not appropriate. But like, given that metric, how does it change when we look at all the ways this given feature can change? Number of users, the cost of individual services, so on and so forth.
Have you plugged in like the statistics of like Snapchat and see whether the net value that you're getting matches the market cap?
We did some stuff. We did some like cross token analysis on a bunch of popular Ethereum things to see like whether or not the value of a given token is like how correlated it is to the value of Ethereum, and how like some tokens are able to like escape that capture. Yeah. So like the value of a given token like Maker may actually not add value to Ethereum because it's decoupled. We did stuff like that.
What is the factor that utility, like the value of utility, is off compared to like market cap value?
I don't know off the top of my head. Now those were done over a year ago. So like it's even today it's hard to say.
Gotcha. That's interesting. Yeah, you guys have good blog posts. I remember you linked me to one before on the stickers stuff. I think it was actually
Same
that
thing. I wrote that.
It's the second one. Yeah, it's nice. Good. Good.
I went on a trip with crypto economics. I'll probably start doing those again.
It's fun when you have a little bit of time to do something that you like to do, and it turns out well. I can tell that those blog posts turned out well.
It pisses me off. The interactivity's gone. I'm gonna fix that.
Fix that shit.
That was the coolest part, man, because like that blog post had a bunch of levers you can change, and then like all the numbers changed.
You know what I think we should do as like to offer to our community is, if somebody's listening right now and wants to put this together, hashtag Kevin, this might be perfect for you. It's kind of aggregate all the
long hashtag.
Yeah, it was aggregate all of the grant opportunities that exist in the space and put them in one spot for people. And I know that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Every project has grants
for like jobs, though, right? Like, hey, here's a new grant. Here's a new grant stuff.
But maybe if we could like make a bot that posted in the Slack every time a grant opportunity popped up, and then people could just see that, because this goes to the person today, Mike, his name is, who hopped into the Avalanche channel, was like, hey, I think I want to start building on Avalanche. can I ask those questions here? And we were like, yeah, it's literally called the Avalanche channel. This is where you ask it. And Avalanche has a lot of grant opportunities, especially right now for what's going on as they're trying to bootstrap other communities into the Avalanche community. I mean, if you want to build something, now's the point that you just ask, and they'll probably be like, all right, here's a pile of money.
Every
a lot of
chain,
projects, like everyone, because you have these chain wars, everyone's like, no, build that on us. Build that on us. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah.
Just use us. And so, like, if you're building something, someone will give you money to do it, but you need to do it on their platform. So if you want to be agnostic, good luck. But like,
you need to go to conferences.
Reach is
and use
agnostic.
that
Reach gets
pitch,
funding.
Corey. What are you building? No. Build it on status. Build it over here.
no, it's good. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Use us.
It gets awkward. I don't want to build it.
Shh.
Make it- do the thing where you like put like. I don't want to build it. I don't want to
Use us.
Use it. So anyways, I don't even know how we got on that long tangent, but
We can wrap it up though.
we could. There's a lot of other news topics that we could talk about, but we're gonna go ahead and start to wrap. It's been a little while here, so I don't even know if we're still. Well, we are still sponsored, but hey, guys, use our code, okay? Like for real.
No one's buying lawnmowers, man.
Like I used it again. Whoa.
Oh, I love mine. I'm not even trying to hide it. That's great. It's a great
This
product.
thing, look, I'm not just saying this because they're gonna pay me to say it.
I don't know if that works anymore. Does it work more?
Yeah, it's always gonna work. It's like we're permanently with them.
Use that code against the other codes you find in every other stream available.
Yeah, use this
because
one.
it gives
In fact,
us stuff.
if you want to be super duper, use your super coding powers to turn everyone's promo codes into our promo code, right? And hopefully we don't. If we get taken to court, I got the smoke face, baby. I didn't know we couldn't do that.
No,
Right?
we could do that.
Use our code TPBNSMOOTH. Here's the thing. My girlfriend loves when I use the lawnmower because it's smooth down there in I was talking about in Funky Town, right? So that's what you want. All the young fellas listening right now, you're gonna take your girl out this weekend. You're gonna take her out to go see Venom, right? You're gonna show her a good time.
Is that a new movie?
Yeah, there's a new
Venom 2.
It's got Carnage in. It's rated
Yep.
R.
I haven't watched the first Venom.
It's
you missed
not
out.
that great.
Oh, that makes me real excited about the second one.
So, anyways, you're gonna take your girl out. You're gonna take her out for something real nice to eat. You're gonna take her to a movie, and then you're gonna go home. And you're gonna want to put on some music, some sexy time music, and you're gonna want to get down. And when she goes down there, she reaches, or he, it's we're sexually fluid. It's like the 70s all over again. You're gonna reach down, and she's gonna want those things to be smooth like eggs.
It's the 70s. Things were not smooth.
Very true. It's very true. I saw some pornography from the 70s that's questionable as to what the hell was going on. What was
I grew up on old Playboys, and those were not smooth.
So the whole it's very
They
bushy.
needed the lawnmower
Anyway,
back
in
then.
today's, they needed that. They
And
needed
what's
hedge
with the
trimmers.
weird angles in the 70s too? Like the just all balls, and then like no, there's
I don't
like
know what
angles
you were.
like
I'm not sure what you were looking at.
there
Not
was
getting.
some
Nope,
weird
we're
angles
wrapping up. We're
where it
wrapping
was
up.
like just man taint moving.
Best part, dude. That's the best part.
So, anyways, Manscaped, right? You're gonna want to be smooth for your lady or your fella. You're gonna want, and look at the icon. It's actually like
If that code doesn't work anymore, we're sorry.
it should work though. And then
Watch any other
here's the
podcast.
thing.
You'll get a code.
It's not just 20% off on the lawnmower. They have all kinds of products. There's lotion for your balls. There's aftershave for your balls. There's potpourri for your balls. There's all kinds of ball related goods that you're gonna want to have when you drop trowel and you're ready to plow. You're gonna want to do it on Manscaped, right? So go to manscaped.com, use TBP and Smooth, get 20% off on all those things, and feel good about how you feel downstairs, right? All right, let's move on. Let's wrap this puppy up. Whoopty. Go to Patreon. Go to patreon.com/the Bitcoin Podcast. Become a patron. There's like 14 of you. What happens is by becoming a patron, you help us get better at what we do, and we're getting slowly better. Look,
Y'all about to get airdropped.
We got videos, we got NFTs coming to y'all. Like, so if you're a patron and you're in the patron channel in Slack, one, you get access to Corey, Jesse, and myself, and we don't like. There's some.
I prioritize answering in the Patreon channel before everything else.
Yeah, so if there's, Corey being a dev in this space and security professional in this space, if you're building something and you want to ask a question and you want to answer to it from someone who has the experience, talks to the people, does the things, he's in there. If you want some, I don't know what kind of advice I can give you, maybe marketing advice, because I'm like captain of the GPPs these days. I'll tell you if it's gonna hit or not, right? And I'm pretty good with it. They call me Negrodamus for a reason. All right. And Jesse, I don't know, Jesse's got some pretty raw insight. Jesse will rake your project through the gauntlet of asking you very, very, very good questions and make you really consider what you're building. But I don't want to speak for you, Jesse. Like, what? You talk to the people. What do you like talking to the people about?
You talking about during interviews?
No, I'm talking about like in the Slack, in the Patreon channel.
Oh, yeah, just talk about anything, honestly.
Yeah, sure.
Lately, we had that huge conversation in general chat about the token you wanted to create for money.
I wasn't just making it for money. I was making it for future Fergusons. All right. Look. Oh, shit, we forgot to talk about video games.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we'll do it.
We gotta go.
Join the Slack. Go to the bitcoinpodcast.com. Join the Slack. Join the conversation. I'm very happy to say this. So at the beginning of this year, I set out that I would like to have 1,000 members in the Slack. We currently have 829 members in the Slack.
I know who that is.
Ripple Degen. I know who that is too. Because
I know who that is.
I creep on y'all's conversations, by the way. I don't say much because I'm usually working, but I know who that is.
Wait, who is that?
It's someone from a different Slack.
What was I gonna say? Damn, what was I gonna say? Oh, the Slack. So we set a goal, and I like it when I set a goal and it actually hits, just because of that's the beauty of goals, everyone. It's like a slow burn towards a holy shit, we did it. So 1,000 Slack members. And I even remember Andy asking me, why do you want 1,000 Slack members? And my answer was because I want 1,000 Slack members. I was like, I want, like, he's a marketing professional. So he was like, you got to have a reason for the number. And I was like, no, we'll figure the reason out later. I just want the number. We're at 829. So that's pretty damn, like, we've had some growth.
Really? Wow. Yeah, we've had some good growth.
We started out at, I think, a little bit under 600 this year.
And these are people that participate, or at least they listen.
Yeah, they're coming in, they're listening to the conversation.
A lot of those members are just like legacy members that don't do anything anymore.
That's true. But
they get an occasional email when I hit them with a channel.
It's a good vanity number. That's why that Slack letter needs to get going, Kev. Every time we do a Slack letter, all 829 of those people are pinging. They're like, oh shit, there was a reason I was in there. So I'm giving you, what does Jay-Z say? I'll give you $1 million advice for free 99. So anyways,
gotta go.
I'm still going. Oh, don't give us any more like canned 5-star reviews. That was dumb shit. I got all excited just to read whack reviews. Like, give us a review that's honest.
I love that we get 5-star reviews and we're like, those 5-star reviews suck.
Yeah, get that bullshit out of here. Give us an honest review on your podcasting app. All right, what's next? This dude failed up, Corey.
John Mulaney. He is an outstanding comedian. Go fuck yourself. He's an outstanding comedian.
I'm not saying anything bad about him.
All right.
I like him. He's fucking hilarious. I love when he brings the graphs.
How did he fail up?
He divorced his current wife and married Olivia.
He got her, Olivia Munn. He got her knocked. That's his new wife. He left his first wife. Got with his new wife. Right? Goes to rehab. He's like, you know what? I drink a lot of alcohol. I'm gonna go ahead and go to rehab, and then when I get out of rehab, I'm going after Olivia Munn, and that's what he did. He got out of rehab and went.
Didn't know any of that.
Olivia
Good for that
Munn,
dude.
and she plays Psylocke in one of the terrible. There's only been one good X-Men movie, and that's X2, X-Men United. The rest of them are trash. Hold up, I got to answer this real quick. No, I'm not gonna text. That's rude.
No,
That's Olivia Munn.
Finish
Shout
the
out to
show.
Olivia Munn, who started out on G4 TV. I love you, Olivia Munn. I've been a huge fan because I'm a nerd, and I've watched you grow from nerd video game show to Olivia Munn. On to the next one. Issa Rae, Insecure just started back up. Show's fucking hilarious. Best soundtrack on all the TV. Comedic genius, super writer lady. I still don't know who this person is. I'm never gonna know who this person is. I think he was in 12 Years a Slave. Lil Uzi Vert, right? The guy that thinks he's slick by naming himself Lucifer, and then all of a sudden, now he's got the kids loving it. Old Jessie knows who that is. Who is that, Jessie? That's
wide
old.
face.
Wide face and long neck. There we go. There
My
she
God.
is.
She
That's
better
Zoe.
not come on at some point.
Zoe Saldana. Well, I'm trying to get her on the show because she's probably gonna have to go to court for that scammy shit she got back in 2017 when scams were on the rise, and she's like, I'm gonna invest in makeup coin. And I was like, it's not a good idea, girl. You should be coming on the show. You should be coming on the show because you don't need to be putting makeup coin on your Instagram. You're gonna get fucked up. So anyway, she's probably got a court case coming up. Oh wait, was that like an NFT that represents Zoe Saldana?
No, it's a long neckies. It's a long neckies collection, and so she fits right in.
Okay, long necky ladies. Isn't that like a non-prof? Isn't that a non thing?
It's like a 13-year-old girl made all the art, and
the long necky ladies. So these PFP NFTs are like everywhere, dude. They are everywhere, and some of them are kind of cool. I saw one that I almost bought
Wrap
the first time.
it up.
Damn, dude, let me have
gotta
go,
go,
bro. All right, let's wrap it up. Who's next? That's it. Let me play the outro.